back, and we're going to continue our discussion about the impact of the 1965 law in America today with a provocative author, editor, speaker, Jared Taylor, editor of American Renaissance, which is a publication and newsletter, which you can tell us about, as well as author of a recent book, created quite a sensation, Paid with Good Intentions. Jared, welcome.
Thank you.
What's your take on the 65 Act and what it's doing to America today?
Gosh. Well, I think it was a terrible mistake.
Yeah.
And the aspect of it that I tend to focus on, because it's the one that is on many people's minds, but that so few people are willing to talk about, is in effect the racial issue. Mm-hmm. And up until the 65 Act, immigration was mostly European. And since the 65 Act, it's mostly been third world. And as a consequence, we have an immigration many people's minds, but that so few people are willing to talk about, is in effect the racial issue. Mm-hmm. And up until the 65 Act, immigration was mostly European. And
up until the 1965 Act, immigration with an E, immigration with an E. Yeah, man, these are the migration of the people from the North region, the Gog and the Magog, were break free from their enclosure, where some ancient people locked them in a specific location in the northern region. Now here is Jared Taylor, them kind of guy are not really afraid to express who and what they really are. And listen, hear him say it. Before, immigration was a European thing. That means the foreign people are come over here. Before 1492, these guys didn't exist in this hemisphere. We know nothing about these people. Period. And right now, irrespective of where you go on earth, irrespective of where you look on earth, this is what you will see as the pervading authority straight across the earth. This kind of imagery. Yeah, man. So let's go ahead and listen to this presentation.
And since the 65 Act, it's mostly been third world. And as a consequence, we have an immigration policy that's going to reduce whites to a minority population if things continue as they are.
Are you saying whites are a majority population now as it is? Or even back then in 1996? I don't think so. Because there is no way you, as foreigners, migrate from your northern region coming down to this, that's an area. And this is why we say we claim Britain, we were located in all of those areas before these foreign people invaded this section of the earth. And document is out there to prove it. So when this guy is going to say white as a majority, I beg to differ, even here in this land. Yeah, man, we all rebut those claims. However, let's continue.
Now, the general
atmosphere continue as they are. When does that happen?
That happens, good point. That happens at about 2050, according to current trends. But whites will be a minority of the population 18 years and younger by about 2030. Mm-hmm. So that's just 34 years from now.
And whites will be a majority in much older age brackets for much longer.
That's right. For another maybe 15, 20 years, there will be an overall majority. And as you point out, in the older age brackets up until maybe 2070, something like that.
So in, say, 2050, the politics of America will be characterized by what?
Well, it'll be characterized, I suspect, by an enormous amount of tension between older whites and younger non-whites. If we have,
You hear that? The politics of America are going to be between older whites and younger whites or younger. Let me make sure I get it properly.
By what?
well, it'll be characterized, I suspect, by an enormous amount of tension between older whites and younger non-whites.
Younger non-whites. Who are the non-whites? So now you see, when you say everybody have trust and them create this trust system and usurp the Most High's place, where these people totally control and govern commerce. They have nothing to do with trade. They can't touch trade. But the commercial aspect of things, them are govern it. These foreigners. This is why I remove myself from commerce. Yeah, man. I have no interest in engaging with foreign people and their foreign construct. And them kind of perspective that I'm on take. I am not one of those, you just say, carbon people when need any kind of foreign, nothing at all, to enhance who I am. I'm not one of those man that was captured and placed in any kind of foreign institution to condition my mental function. I'm not one of those men. So when I come across this kind of information, I smile because it's nothing new. And the majority of the elite, this is the way how they think, and it's natural in nature. You gotta always think about your existence. Now, if these people are immigrants, pirates, land pirate, because everywhere they go, them claim, and them not own anything. Them say them want to control everything. This is why I said them put everything in a trust mechanism, trust system, where them create and govern. You get me? And usurp the place of the Most High Creator. This is why people can just say now freely, hey, we don't believe in a creator. We don't believe in a God. We don't believe in a higher power. We have all some secular people now call themselves and call each other gods and gods and gods, filthy as they are. But hey, you have all different type of gods. And those are gods with a lowercase g's. Turn reverse, it will go dog. So listen to these people carefully, man, with them word wizardry. You think them have our best interests at heart, and our people align themselves with these foreigners. Our people align themselves with all kind of things where is to the detriment of us. You'll hear one of these people saying, oh, it's us against them. You understand? You'll hear all of these things.
If we have this current system, and I doubt we will have one of entitlements and Social Security and all of these things for older people, I think that the burden will be increasingly upon non-whites to pay for benefits of people that they're not related to, people to whom they may have no.
Are we not doing that now? Are we not paying benefits to you people where we're not related to? We don't even know, we don't own a jack, nothing. You guys just invade our place, invade our space, pollute, corrupt it, and make all kind of claims. And my people that sit still, especially now in this day and age, my people sit still, talking a bunch of mess about politics and politics. You understand? And the big picture, they're missing. They'll take pleasure in knocking fists with each other. When a man like me come and call them out, them get up, upset. They get offended. And look at what's going on. This has been happening on the mainland there. That's where you find these invasive species spread out, that they can be so audacious to be saying, hey, they are Americans, and only they can be Americans. When this man right here is telling you, said before it was about the Europeans migrating here. You understand? And then after them coming with this 1965 Act, where the very same Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X and all of these civil rights activists was fighting for. This is where them get the right to vote. What kind of mess is that? And that was when they assimilated the true native people, the original people of this hemisphere, into their foreign construct by way of a voter registration system. And this is when they remove your inherent divine God-given right and replace it with all of these policies. That's what happened. The civil rights movement was a distraction. There is no way I would be there talking about I want civil rights from some foreign people who invade my place. I will be at war for freedom. My war wouldn't cease. You would never be able to come in my land with my people and I, as Nestorian king, say, hey, you bring treaty to I. Never. Never. That would never happen. Under no circumstance can you come in my house and try to regulate me to a little corner somewhere. And I should be mum. Never. However, our black people is that way, especially on the mainland. We have some warrior in Chicago, naturally, are our people, and them spread out all over the place. We not talk about just the mainlanders. We are talking about the one them who come from the islands. You get me? With this kind of energy, this kind of blood, this kind of spirit. Those ones, we always choose to say, hey, I'll rebel. You get me? I care not. I will rebel. But you have the other intellectual will come and pacify you. They bring out the intellectuals, which is the one that carry inside their foreign institutions, and they bring out their religious leaders, those pastors, and they pacify the people, put the people to sleep. Now the people now talk about freedom, they might talk about civil rights, which is the Roman rights. So you ask the Roman to give you any kind of, where the Romans I get rights from, where these Gog and Magog ancestral people get rights from to give you. When you have it naturally, inherently. It's like the right of movement, which Jamaican politician will be so audacious to tell this Nestorian king, hey, you need permission to do anything. Or, hey, I'm going to take your property from you. Or, hey, because your properties park this place on the street here, we, the municipal people, own every. Hey, try that. Please, try that after all I've been through. Any one of you agents with all the firepower you have, try this free man like that. I have no problem going down in history in a blaze of glory, defending, protecting this inherent right, this divine right, this freedom. You get me? So if it's only one man will stand in the earth this way, and talk this way, then I shall be that man. And I have no problem making this stand, because there is no way, from my due diligent research and comprehension, you foreign people can invade this place in 1492. And then you now is going to say, you are more American than the Americans you came here and saw. This is a problem with my people. Usurpation is the word. You understand? So when a lot of you people sit down in uncomfortable positions and situations, bragging, you know what I mean? There is something totally different going on. And just like the wink of an eye, this is how all of our situation going to change dramatically. You know how we know these things? Ask the people in Ukraine how them did I play ball, watching sports, eating their cornflakes and doing everything, and then Russia drop a bomb over there and start a war. And what happened? Everything changed. The rich guy in his office space, all of that changed. The poor guy sleeping on the road, all of that changed. So simple it is. Yeah, man. Them just want to say war, and your whole world is finished. This is why them have Renaissance, rebirth. This is when the Europeans decide to take over this earth, and they call it Renaissance. You know what I mean? Gog and Magog with all its other confederates. Yeah, man, like the tribe of Esau and those Ishmaelites. You understand? Wake up. Stop sleepwalking. You guys over there on the mainland, wake up. Stop sleepwalking. You're daydreaming. Gog and Magog have totally dominated your area. They've dominated this earth. This is why when you go on this kind of imagery, all you see pervading all these things are Gog and Magog and their confederates. Pay attention, people. It's not what you think it is. It's never what we think it is. I keep telling our people that.
Particular loyalty.
Now, when we talk about 2050, is that's within the lifetime of people alive today.
Yes, it is.
Probably not my lifetime.
Well, we can all hope.
Well, maybe, but certainly our
That's right.
kids, right?
That's right.
Who are born today.
Yes.
Well, you know, they talk about how when we hit the year 2000, all these computers are going to go on the fritz because they're not calibrated for the 000. They're calibrated for 90 to 96, the
Right.
20th century, basically.
Yeah.
We also have in society, we talk about majority versus minority rights. Most Americans think of whites versus minorities, right? So how does a society immediately cope with the fact that suddenly there's no majority? And if you're talking about the majority, you're not talking about anybody. I mean, there's a whole set of jurisprudence around that idea.
Well, it's not just jurisprudence. I think it's a very, very basic fact of what the texture of our society is going to be like. I mean, are we not supposed to notice or care that whites are going to become a minority? Are we supposed to think that's a good thing? Is it really legitimate to ask the question, is that a good thing for America? Is that a good thing for white people? Or are whites not supposed to have any interests as a particular group? Are they
Do
supposed
whites
to have
have an
any
interest in being the majority?
I think they do.
What
I think they
are
do.
those interests?
Because it's pretty clear that all of those parts of the United States where non-whites become a majority, the social organization, the texture of life changes in ways that whites generally do not find particularly attractive.
And what's
So-
the measure of that dissatisfaction?
Well, the measure of that dissatisfaction is a very simple one. They leave. Now, we're all supposed to be celebrating diversity, and we're all supposed to be subscribing to this late 20th century myth that race can be made not to matter. But when it really comes to what matters in people's lives, who they marry, where they live, where they send their children to school, whom they invite to dinner, well, race does matter.
Well, aren't blacks also leaving the high impact areas too, where immigrants are?
Well, that's right, but they're not. They're moving not because blacks are moving in, but because many of the people coming in are not black. I read a very poignant interview with the president of a black homeowner society in South Los Angeles. She was talking about Mexicans. She says, these people, they listen to different music. You can't talk the same language to them. Their practices are different. Their sports are different. It's like,
I think that's what them use for push away the black people. Them have the Mexican as a buffer. I remember 89, 90, them time that when you're there in all the big cities, them you have a lot of old Russian and German people own the delis. When I just got foreign, I work in a deli on White Plains Road. A deli, that's like a little shop where you sell everything. Sandwiches and every little thing, shop. And a lot of these kind of people, guys, a German, they own it with them have two big son. One of the son, them two son, the one have tall here, like, them rocker, then them play guitar. You get me? And the next one is the next big one, fat one with ride a Harley Davidson bike. You get me? And them man there in the store, them. And when they go all about the place, them kind of Armenian, and and then after a while, you see them people a shift and a beer Spanish people used to start owning it, and Pakistani people start owning these little places. You never necessarily see a predominant black community, and it's just black businesses in those communities. I never experienced it around there. But then again, I never did it in the 60s and the 70s and the 30s. I got there in the 89. You understand? I could have said, I used to live around a Allerton area there, son. The Pelham side there. Off a Gunnell Road area there, son. But going down to the, you just say Arlington Avenue. So down there, so it's a little bit different. You don't necessarily have the building. I never like the idea of living in a building, period. Yeah, man. I've never liked them kind of living in a big project type of building. I never ever like living in a building with more than about 2 or 3 family depend. You understand? Everywhere in America, them kind of project setting there, but which part are they now a more private house? And when I just move around there, my neighbor them was, say, white people. Yeah. And then cross the street, whole heap of white people. And while I'm there, them time I'm back and forth in and out of town. And I could have seen the changes. After a while, it starts the Spanish people come in. You understand? Yeah, man. And then you see a lot more high people now start moving. Them have a style where them, like in Harlem, when Harlem, they drug infested, them just, fix up Harlem, and them call that gentrification. Rearrange the place, fix up the place, and then the original people from that place can't even afford to even sleep on the street down there. You understand? So it's nothing new. These people are all foreign to us. And when I hear people talk about, mainland America, a white man country, I say, that's because you lack knowledge. You understand? And the people who lack knowledge will say that. And then you have a next set of people who are paid agent. You understand? When they look at themselves as American, when this is their origin, they make white man, these Gog and Magog people. I tell them, say, boy, them African and them all different things. Them come in with all a term called alien. If you're Jamaican and you're there around America, and them say, you're illegal, alien. Who are the aliens here? You understand? So this is just a different perspective. Our point of view. Yeah, man, we have our own opinion. We have our own way of looking at things, of viewing things. You get me? And our actions and footsteps not directed by no white man. Period. No foreign man. Period. This is the difference with us. This is the difference with us. We not sell out. We call it as it is. And if you're a racist, I care not how sophisticated you are, you're just a racist. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with loving your race. The problem with our people is that them not know we have our own race. And them not love themselves. You understand? When we say, hey, you're Aborigine, you are the original American, them say, no, they're African. You understand? So free will, but we say they are free, but all of those presumptions. And for put some of you foreign Gog and Magog people in your place, we not care about no nuclear weapons and bomb. That nuclear fallout in Chernobyl, that's the place. Wasn't that in some place in Ukraine? It's a long time Ukraine and the devil work and make nuclear weapons and bombs and all these things. And we got to talk about you cry over Ukraine. Listen, the people of Ukraine, we can sympathize with them. Because usually, some of the people have nothing to do with the devilish things and what them government implement. Because we have a lady, Irie, Jamaica. She's a Ukrainian and she seems a little bit different than the other one. Them when I ram. You get me? For destroy each other. However, she's still a Ukrainian. You get me? She's still a foreigner in my land. You understand? And I know the CIA people, them use our children to infiltrate you. That's why them have problem with a man like me. You get me? Because when them come and say them are going to watch me, them get tired because them say, I am too boring. You see, when them are come and I look for criminality, them get tired and say, I am too boring. You understand? You see, when them come and I say, what? Subversive movement, him a plan for overthrow all. Them say, oh, him too boring. Waste of time. Why? I would never want to throw over a devil system. How could I want to overthrow a satanic mess with you kind of people who do so much evil in this earth? Now, man, me work with the good people and the good people only. And I will do the things that is right and the things that is right only. That I on a problem, boy. You get me? I'm on a burn out, devil worshipping. Boy, I hear a next thing through the meal where the man them I say, boy, people have gathering and gathering and gathering, and I laugh at them because yeah, people will do these things. But me keep on tell the people, say the power of the Most High where you can either say invoke within you from you is more powerful than any other thing out there. Truly, people. Way more potent. Yeah, man, the power of your mental, the power of your mind. It's more potent than what any Obia man can try. But you're not going to know that because I'm not teaching these things. We allow foreign people to come here and tell we everything, and most of our people believe it, and them not just believe it, them oppress other people on behalf of these foreign people. This is why I say we have to get serious. You see, the moment you are work for this foreign construct, and you can identify I as a man outside of your construct, don't talk to me, don't engage me, don't interfere with me. I have a right to defend and protect myself by any means necessary. If a man come to take my property, I have a right to draw my knife, take up my machete, get a big stone, or get any kind of weaponry and mow down that party where invade my space, where violate me, where intrude on me. You get me? Where impose some kind of foreign authority on this free man, on this sovereign man. You understand? And all others were in a discapacity. Are you insane? Don't go talk about you working for any corporate company or agency and step outside of your bounds of authority. A man like me, my activity and action is way above you common employees of the states. Pay grade. Know that. Just know that. Just know when you choose to interfere with me on this level, it won't just cost you some money. It's supposed to cost you your job where you can't work with no governmental agency under the postal authority ever again. This is the level. You understand? So it's not about, hey, you're going to bully me. Listen, when you continue bullying, something else happen. You understand? And we know what happened to bully when you find bully by themselves in a them private location and deal with them. A them thing that happen to bully. So you gang up and think when you can mess around people as if when you go to your home is here, your gang is in your home. As if when you go to church is here, your gang is at church. We chose to do what is right every time. That's how we stay. And we now met a foreign man with them foreign plan. Come tell we nothing. Come teach we nothing. Nothing at all. Why? We're there now at a level where we can choose for ourselves. We can exercise a free will. So when Gerard Taylor I make certain speech, pay attention. I'm a talk for a whole nation, Gog and Magog.
Like oil and water. We don't want them here. And that, much as we decry that kind of attitude, that is a perfectly natural, normal, healthy reaction. People don't like that kind of demographic change.
Okay, do people gravitate to people that they are comfortable with? And do whites have an interest in being a majority in this country? Is it even permissible to ask? We want to hear from you. Give us a call with your comments and questions. We know you want to get in on this conversation. 1-800-5000-NET. This is Borderline. I'm here with Jared Taylor, editor of American Renaissance. I'm Dan Stein, and this is Borderline.
Be able to communicate directly to FAIR's website.
We're back. We're talking to Jared Taylor. We're talking about the question of immigration, ethnicity, and race. Peter Brimlow, in one of his books, recent books on alienation, he said, in politics,
you have immigration with an I, and you have immigration with an E. You understand? Yeah, man. So there is a little subtle difference. This is why them play word wizardry games. I'm going to keep telling my people, don't go over mainland America and make them tell them so on a legal or illegal. Adjust and upgrade on a status. I met no foreign boy or foreign girl or in a foreign office I tell you, say, boy, you have to do it this way or that way. Don't listen to them. Don't follow them. You get me? A devil man can't come tell you about, say, boy, in order to find God, you have to follow a devil plan. You mad? No devil man should tell you, say, in order to find God, you should follow their devil plan. It don't work that way. It doesn't work that way. So if I am the only man here where I view the things on this level and I see it this way and I call it for what it is, I don't have a problem standing. You understand? Some of you men on the mainland, you people on the mainland, ignore this big old elephant, this dinosaur inside of your guy's house. You feel like no group of white man can come on this land and continue them kind of thing. Yeah? You know, so right now, Jamaica shape up for a whole different level. I don't realize that. This island here shape up for something different. You understand? And we now go sit down every day and make some foreign people push around our people, and then our people are bully way. It now go work. You understand? It shall come to an end. And you see, you guys on the mainland, we are going a bed choke by way of assimilation with these foreign people. Yeah, man. You guys' time coming. It's a new earth, people. Don't let them keep this old mess on you. I tell you guys, free yourself. Don't let no crazy people that tell you come group up with us. And those crazy people are in bed with Gog and Magog, totally enslaved. And it's just there to make sure you never see the light of day. Listen to these guys when them are talking, man. Them are plan them future and them not have us inside it, Them don't even want to know as slave no more, Because they get too smart as slaves. Want to get too smart as slaves, so them don't want that. Them want to inject foreign thing inside of you guys so them can actually hit a button and program you. The foreign institution did a lot, but a lot of us escape it because all of we get caught in that trap. So this is why them system have this problem. You understand? So now it's a brand new renaissance again for these people because they might take us on a next level. And most of my people I miss it because they are so distracted. They might run down foreign wealth. They might run down foreign commerce. They might run down everything that is foreign and now look at themselves as it. You're everything, people. This is why these foreigners are here. And I tell you a lie, these guys never talk truth. Because the truth, none of them. You get me? They don't have access to the truth because it's not there. The very few will acknowledge the truth. These guys cannibalize those ones. They cannibalize each other over there. You have to wake up, people.
I think he said race is destiny in American politics. What do you think he meant by that? How does that relate to what you're talking about?
Well, if he said that, he stole that line from Benjamin Disraeli. Benjamin Disraeli said race is destiny. I think the point Disraeli was making, it's one that was common in previous decades and previous centuries, but nobody dares say it today, and that is all around the world, you see people of different races building consistently different societies. And wherever you find them, Chinese, overseas Chinese, mainland Chinese, they build a certain kind of society. It's the same with Europeans, whether they're in Australia.
Isn't it safe to say that Gerard Taylor right here, this man, at least have the semblance of those Hasidic Jews, or at least the Khazars? Yeah, man, him fit that. And the moment you see them in some big, powerful office somewhere, no, them are not regular people. Them are not just the average so-called white folk. Yeah, man, them are what you call it, blue blood. You get me? The one them were intermixed with angel seed and them thing there, with some alien beings and them thing there. This is why them seem so brilliant, with a lot of new things. Within 100 years, we move from cart and buggy, you understand, to car where I drive and I fly and I go on the sea. Within 100 years. And before that, it took us almost 3,000 years to figure out everything else. People, what's wrong with us? You know, sister boy, we have been invaded by an alien species a very long time ago. You understand? And these people now have no land for themselves. Them go straight across the earth and claim other people's possessions. You understand? Them create them own institution of learning so them can teach the common people their curriculum, foreign curriculum. And then our people are talk about, we want to do this. No, we can't do nothing until we separate from it. We have to identify it, remove ourselves from it, separate from it. And then we start. We now can't start as it is. It will never work. This is why we are in this state. However, let's listen.
In New Zealand, Canada, the United States, back in Europe, they build a certain particular kind of society. And it's in that sense that Disraeli said race is destiny. Now, I think Peter Brimelow was hinting in that direction, but I'm not sure just how far he can go in taking the squarely racialist position that Disraeli was taking.
Well, what do you think it means?
Well, I think I tend to agree with his railing. I don't see much to disprove him since the several decades in which he made that observation.
Wasn't the Voting Rights Act, in a sense, a kind of a recognition of that in an American sense that
You're
people? Go ahead.
Well, you're talking about the modification of the Voting Rights Act, which created gerrymandered voting districts. You see, that's an excellent example of the schizophrenia our government suffers from when it comes to race. In terms of housing or schooling, we're all supposed to pretend that race doesn't matter for anything. And yet when it comes to voting, our government drew these special districts so that non-whites could vote non-whites in the office. The assumption being that, well, gosh, race does matter. Well, does it or doesn't it? My view is race definitely matters. And this undertaking we've had for the last several decades, well, since about the 1960s, that we're going to build a society in which race can be made not to matter, is just as much a misreading of human nature as with the socialist strategy, the communists, that we were going to build a society from each according to his ability, each according to his need. That didn't work. Human nature doesn't work that way.
Wasn't there in a sense, a fundamental belief in '65 that the ethnic base of the country was static? Whites would be probably 85 to 90% of the American populace indefinitely, and so the special privileges.
You hear that, liar? Why? 85 to 90% of the American populace, whites? In what context? You understand what I say? Over 30 million people alone as us exist in just what is known as the West Indies. And by extension, you understand? The mainland people. And you foreign people come here with a craziness and wipe out as much as you can. You understand? Because I'm looking at you two individuals. You understand? And your point of origin has nothing to do with the American hemisphere. You did not origin over there in England or Britain. You don't even originate in Europe, as we know Europe right there, and Asia. You don't originate there. You understand? You guys came from someplace else, not region. You understand? We want to deal with the fallen ones. And it's clear to prove these things. Ask yourself, who have a button where them can press to annihilate the earth? What group of people have this kind of destructive power because of their destructive nature? What group of people? Talk no, man. Because I want to hear when I say, boy, hey, are the Moors of Spain have it? Are the black people around South Africa have it? Are any black people in Africa have it? Who are these people? Who are these acidic people by their very nature? Who are these foreign people? Are they not the aliens here on Earth? Just a question.
For minorities were designed to give them a leg up in the face of this overwhelming power control of a white-dominated society, right? I mean, and doesn't that analysis change in the face of what you're talking about, where if you're going to have a society where there is no majority,
Right,
where you have highly organized ethnic groups, Asians, Hispanics, African Americans, white Americans, or whatever, doesn't that analysis have to change?
Yes, it does. I think, though, you're talking about two slightly different things. I think everyone did assume that whites were going to continue to be the majority, and they took it for granted. They were comfortable with that. Even Ted Kennedy, who now is saying it's wonderful, it's diverse, I don't really believe he thought that the demographic situation of the United States is going to change.
Mm-hmm.
So here is this notion of, we always thought that America was essentially a European nation. It's going to cease to be a European nation, I think.
People, when I hear that, America is not Europe, just like America is not Africa, but every single body that claim this place, because they want to claim the land of milk and honey, and they want to put a stronghold or a stranglehold on the people of this place. You hear them tell it plainly, say, this America where them know, the United States of America is a European colony. because the European came to America and then created their foreign construct called the United States of America. And that is within a document called the Charter of New England, 1620. You'll find that document there. These guys keep meticulous record. This is when them coined the phrase, the United States of America. You understand? And as they move forward, them create them Washington, D.C., and remove that area from Pennsylvania to Maryland and Virginia border there, what I'm called Washington, D.C. And from Washington, D.C., they created what is known as the United States Incorporated. And that's what Jamaica as a corporation is an instrumentality of. I get it now. This is why we say them have what is known as their commercial world. That world, it's all about their commerce, foreign commerce. I will work with trade, international trade with my people who are anywhere abroad internationally. Nothing to do with commerce. You understand? Congress have no authority on our activity as free people here. The United States Congress have absolutely no authority here. You understand? The British Crown, with their parliament in Westminster, have no authority here. The Templar Church have no authority here. We rebut all of those things. Yeah, you have the standing army. You have the big gun and the machinery and weaponry. And yeah, you can go ahead and bully we, but we still stand for dominance. So watch out, we not consent, we not agree. You understand? And we are free. Talk to them now.
Let's keep going the way they are.
And of course, none of the sponsors of the 65 Act are willing to admit that, right?
They're not willing to admit that. I don't think that they anticipated it or wanted it. I mean, we can't read their minds. Nobody thought it was going to happen. But at this point, because everyone is so intimidated on the question of race, we're not even supposed to notice or care that whites will be reduced to a minority.
Well, what about even this question of the ethnic base of the culture, the European frame of American culture? There isn't even a consensus on.
You hear that? The European frame. You know what I mean? That framework, the framing of American culture. So these foreign people literally are create for them own thing. And have our people a jump, a jig, a song and dance to these foreign people like some puppets. What kind of Grammy? You think none of these guys could have tell me if I come perform for them like me or some sissy? You must be mad. No, this is what causes the problem. We're not letting too much foreign people in our business. Spoil we. And them trick we and smile with we and give we beads and trinkets and say them love we. You understand? When for them love is really hate. For them love is really hurt. For them love is really pain. For them love is to destroy the original people's family construct. That's their love.
On that, right? Well, we got to take some calls here. Let's talk to Ray in Philadelphia. Ray, welcome to Borderline.
Good evening, gentlemen. I'm surprised that you guys bring up such a topic on the air, really.
Well, isn't it important, though, to say in public what people talk about in private?
I agree. Yeah, the forthrightness is very important. And I think that you have an example of what's going on in California with this doing away with the what do you call it? I can't think of it, but
give me an analogy.
What it is
affirmative action,
where it gives, like you were saying, black people the opportunity to get into these all-white schools, you know,
about CCRI, the Civil Rights Initiative. Do away with affirmative action.
Affirmative action, that's what it is, yeah. Yeah, see, they're becoming afraid that in California that the minorities are going to be the majority. So now they're starting to, shoot down this affirmative action thing.
Okay, let me get a reaction from Jared.
The question of affirmative action is really a little bit different from the question of immigration, although they are related. Affirmative action,
Not related. I mean, it's like trying to talk about the trade deficit without China. I mean, without Japan. I mean, immigration and
but the point is, even without immigration, we already have a multiracial society, and you could have affirmative action. Now, what's happening in California, I don't think it necessarily is related to immigration, because you could have a CCRI in Florida, Massachusetts, any state in the union that has a mixed demographic racial population. But all of this is brought into particularly heightened focus, as our caller suggests, by the fact that most immigrants today are non-white. I think, and this is a provocative but really rather obvious point, if all of the...
Why are the immigrants that are non-whites so predominant now? It's because you foreign people displaced those original people. You, who are white people, came to the non-white people's nation, world, land, and displaced them, removed them. And then you, white foreigner, alien, claim the original people's location as if it's yours. And then you even go as far as claim the original people's identity as if it's yours. This is what you guys have done. You're masters at disguise. This is why you guise yourself as being what you say you are when you're not. You're not. Yeah, man. So when one can come with phone thing, then we can bring our thing. You get me? Our college, university people won't challenge you people like this. The mainlanders who are in bed with you guys commercially will never dare challenge you guys this way. They won't. But here we are. We are challenge you foreign people. And we want you foreign people to cease and desist and withdraw your presence from the original people's land.
Post-1965 immigrants had been, say, Norwegians. The current immigration debate...
You hear that? Norwegian. What the people? Pay attention. Pay attention. The moment you have some people from Haiti decide, say, watch, I don't want to stay down at Haiti because the big foreign company, them mash up a place, so we are go up on the mainland to see what can go on. You know what I'm calling those people? Immigrants. When those people are moving from point A to point B within their own hemisphere, within their own land. And then Gog and Magog, these foreign people from these sides of the north, will tell these people, hey, you can't move there. We have a different group of people to place there. This is what's going on in the earth. And these people tell us plain and straight. But our people, especially the university grads, they don't want to hear this. You understand? They don't want to hear this.
The current immigration crisis would have completely different dimensions. I don't think it would take on the same form that it does now.
Well, let's talk about what those might be right after the break. And we want to get in, you to get in on this conversation too, with Jared Taylor, editor of American Renaissance, Paid with Good Intentions, new book he just wrote. Give us a call, 100-5000-NET. This is Borderline. I'm Dan Stein. We'll be right back. We're back. Let's take some calls. Let's talk to Lawrence in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Lawrence, welcome.
Yeah, this is Lawrence Cohen. I would like you to comment, if you would, on Wilmot Robertson's idea of the ethno-state. And secondly, it seems to me that Israel, I'm fairly familiar with Israeli politics and so forth, that it seems to me that Israel is moving towards possibly an ethno-state. And I appreciate you for speaking out on your beliefs. Thank you, and I'll listen.
I think most nation states traditionally have been ethnically homogeneous. That's, I believe, what's meant by an ethno-state. And I think in that connection, before he was assassinated, Yitzhak Rabin said something very interesting. He said what he cared about most was that Israel remain at least 80% Jewish. Now, that is a commentary on immigration policy. And what was important to him was that
Israel remain 80% Jewish. These are the Khazars. This is why I say Israel is the gay capital of the world right now. Israel, where you say, where these so-called supposed to be holy people, the man them go these things go pollute that location down there. And this is why them know that this island here is the next place where the whole world going to have to flock to. So what them do? Them just make sure plant a kind of energy around here for pollute and corrupt this location. You understand? Irrespective of what our people say, it's always the mountains, it's always the hills. You understand? And we have to have our own holy hill. We don't want a polluted place. We not go have no place where we are talk about Satan dead and we just accept that. No. We can build a pig pen for Satan and put him in the pig pen. You get me? Down upon the flatlands. But in the mountains, our we for that. You know what I mean? Our we for that. Not the Chinaman upon our island. You have a place upon our island named Irish Town. I go and I forgot do a thing upon Irish Town. You know what I mean? I say who are these Irish people in an Irish town. You get me? And why is there not a Chinatown in Jamaica? The amount of Chinese there, we need a Chinatown because we don't have China cemetery. We have Chinese cemetery upon Walton Park Road. This is where the first of the Chinese them would come and dead out early and we just bury them out there. So, yeah, man, we have a Chinese cemetery, but it's not 300 years old or so. It's not older than that. You understand? Them come in at the 1800s, that's it. That's it, people. We don't want a historian tell we nothing, you know. Yeah, man. We will write our own narrative. We don't ram for write my own story. A boy not come give a chat round here. We don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear it.
Israel maintained a certain character, a certain quality, and he recognized that by changing the demographics, that quality would be lost, that character would be lost. I think the same is true of the United States.
Yeah, let's talk to Jack, first-time caller in Harwich, New Jersey. Jack, welcome to Borderline.
Yes, thanks. I want to agree with everything the guest has said. It's great if we can talk openly about these type of issues because most people don't realize the demographic trends, and you know the whites will become a plurality, but still a minority in the country, and that's the key is the demographic trends if they continue to hold. I think that you're not going to see a real change on immigration policy because we don't have any backbone, for one, until the white power structure in this country is going to be affected by, you know, losing the power because of the loss of the majority status. And I can see down the road, 10 years, 10, 20 years down the road, in order to cut that demographic trend off, I mean, I could see the white power structure putting in, say maybe a tax code where if you're a white family and you have a baby, guess what? You're going to get a big fat deduction or something along those lines. The rest of the country won't like it, but the fact is we're going to become a minority status because we're not having enough babies.
You asked an interesting question. I want to try to take off on this. Now, let's assume whites are a minority. Is it a fair assumption that whites would therefore relinquish political power under that regimen?
Not necessarily, and that's part of this age structure. There are going to be older whites. This will add immeasurably to the tension. You'll have older whites. Older people are the best organized voting bloc in the country. And you'll have these younger non-whites, some of whom are not going to be eligible to vote, some of whom won't vote. And no, they won't necessarily relinquish power. I think, well, take a...
My people. My people. My people, 1965, the foreign construct implement the Voting Right Act. I remember 64, the place was in turmoil. I remember the man them said them have civil rights movement and all kind of craziness are going on. Malcolm X bad up the place, literally bad up the place. Martin Luther I try stand up and I tough up the place, even though I must say, boy, I'm not really there on the violent part, but every man I play them role. You get me? And what the system do? The system just appease the crowd. Because when Martin Luther King march, he never march for no mongoloid looking, yellow, stringy ear people. Martin, you never see none of those people being clobbered, being lynched, being hosed down. You never see no imagery of these people. You never see no Chinese people I stand up for it. When you say black people, I go through these things. I've never seen the most me can say, there was a few white people in the mix. Because you have some white man who them killed down in Mississippi. You get me? You have some white man where different black people thing and them kill them down in Mississippi. But me still say we never did fair fight and a fuss for ourselves to talk about we want to vote in another foreign thing. We as original people, we as Indian, we are not allowed to participate in those things. You can voluntarily do that by giving up your sovereign power what derived from the Most High Creator, God of nature. That's why some boy I tell us, boy, God this, God that, car. Them want to tell us say your power come from them and them friend. You get me? And some sodomite men, we are pay them. So them I say, boy, you can't have power. You, as a man, can't talk about your free. What you chat about? You can't do that. You get me? You have to listen to Gog and Magog. You get me? And if you don't want to listen, let me share some of them money where Gog and Magog have a give away. The illusionary currency that trap. It is a trap. It is a tool and it's used as a trap. You get me? And most of our people get caught in that web. My people, we never fear talk about no civil rights. That are for Roman people. That are for these people. Then sodomite you can't give no rights. These guys cannot give what them do not possess. It's just them big gun them have and a bully with. That's it. And them press button where them say them are gonna just blow up the place. It's only these people have them kind of instrument there. And them alone have it. And them play this game with us. This one say, hey, we like these people. And the next one they say, hey, we don't like these people. However, both of them come together, totally oppress and dominate the very same people. We not trust them here. We not allow them to just continue fool way on into perpetuity. We not allow that here. And if you guys on the mainland is afraid to challenge them, you know, then we on the island here will challenge them for you. And then you can just, you know, give us that strength while we are challenge these people for you. You understand? Because they're in your house. You get me? And you're quick for shoot each other up. Black on black crime promoted by Gog and Magog, these foreigners. The moment you make all a group of Chicago warrior reach up in a location where them would have called white area and start bust them gun, see what happen. See if a martial law create around there. But as long as them stay in a freedom community and kill each other, there's no martial law. Nobody in a business, because what? That is the agenda. And I tell my people, ease up off of criminality and you're going to be surprised. These devils will have to separate themselves from we. Because them have to criminalize we. You understand? And I said, boy, we need to be, governed. It's like you go in our little community on the island. When me I drive, so me I pass all Foreshore Road or me I go through Greenwich Farm. People, I be a roadblock, spot check. And enough of that community is the very same way. Yet the crime still are going and me not get it. Me not comprehend it. All me can do is appeal to my people. So watch out, our people. Make we go easy in a man. Make we done with the illiteracy in a man. Because most of them we are kill. None of them can't ever read and write. No can't read that. No dunce, no mess. You know, some dunce, fool people. That's why I not behave so. A man can this year, and even if you have to do him something, you can really apply yourself away. We say, watch out, make we exercise everything else opposed to have to do this money or something. Then we not can do that. I've done so no dance and can't read and write, and what people don't want to tell you that. What kind of gang name dance thug? And I brag about them dance. And my government I say, yeah. What? Listen. I blame the people and we are teach these people. I blame the people and we are lead, because the people and we are lead never corrupt. Then the people under them wouldn't be so. If the people and we are lead never acidic, then the people under them wouldn't be so. If the people never were lead, listen man, we have to start the truth, man. I will teach our people for war like over war. I will teach our people for, a scam. Which youth boy just get up and say, what? Me a turn scammer. And them can't read and write. Them don't even know. The most of our people can do a count. You get me? We can count from 1 to 10. Some of we can go a little bit further than that. But none of our boys can read and write. Not care what kind of university we go. Because if we could, we wouldn't be in this state. We could never be in this state. You get me? So when some man will brag and say, if one man say I'm free and everybody else not free, then no man can be free. Then me say, watch out. If una say una bright and everybody else not bright, then no man else is bright. If una say una educated and the majority of the populace are uneducated, then absolutely no one is educated. I want to view it that way. When I come out and talk on behalf of una politician friends, when I come out and give the people one type of talk and then on just kind of sell them out with another type of talk. When I go learn that in a foreign school. This is why I am here. This is why I am he. Yeah, man. Not afraid to ask the question or challenge this thing. Who is you, foreign man? Who is you? What are you doing in my land? What so much I'm not doing in my land? That's my people for make them stand.
A place like Brazil.
But then they become a white minority government, don't they?
That's right. But you have one in Brazil.
Uh-huh. How long can that continue, though?
Oh, I think all of this is a prescription to, frankly, national disaster. I don't think that the United States can continue with this idea of multiculturalism, multi-this, multi-that, and expect to maintain a unitary state.
Hey, boy, hey, white face boy. What a mess are you saying? I and I people was here, all I will look like this long time. And then in 1492, we and your friend them come with this multiculturalism. Because when I look over Africa, that was a multicultural place. You get me? You have African with blue, you have African with black, you have African with pink, and you have African that's not. Multicultural over there. You have some people say them are this, and some people say them are that. All on over there. And the whole on over the multicultural garbage come around here. Now you say, boy, watch out. We don't want a multicultural now. We want to wipe out all of them want to look like we. Because America now is a white man country. I beg to differ. I prove that we don't come from Boya. Even Europe, we're going to have to take back around there. So we need some wool heap we now to start spread out back in them places. Britain, yeah, my people, they are England, my British people. You not hear me, you know? You just not hear me. Listen, just don't engage in criminality. That's it. And then I make nobody in Britain telling them nothing. Them not originate around there. I make them telling them nothing. Any man who are Jamaican, the British Nationality Act make you not need a visa for travel. You get me? I make them come with them new thing. What is first in time is choice. If you not subscribe to the new thing, it cannot apply to you unless you submit to that. You not hear me. You not hear me now. I not take no college boy angle, you know. I not take no Freemasonic angle, you know. I come from a place where I say, watch out. As long as there's a God in the earth, me is a free man. You understand? God, the Most High, divine of nature, that God, I Him create all things. And Him endowed us with certain unalienable, inalienable rights and freedoms. It not come from no politician. This is why I say politician, don't be audacious and think you can chat to a free man. You get me? And I feel like you might have any, you know, army that can make you right when you're wrong. Don't try that. Deal with a slave. Always make sure on a check for say, is this one of our people or not? Make sure of that. You know what I mean? And enough tag and pull thing. Every man have the right to secure and protect his environment and his space. You get me? And you use a big stone, you use a drinks buckle, you just block it on the ground and that turn into what you need. You need your knife, you need anything where you need to protect your existence. Then no foreign man can do that. You understand? And then impose them will upon us. You mad? No more slavery. Decolonization. No more. No more. And you say, oh no, we are sell out and have people in this passive state. We're coming at you.
Let's talk to Kay in Riverton, Wyoming. Hi, Kay.
Hi. Dan, you went right to the heart of the question when you were asking about, do we have a right to ask about these questions? And your guest is right on everything he says. The basis is us and them. It's that those concepts are as old as life itself. And it has to do with self-preservation of both yourself and the group. And it's that those concepts are as old as life itself. And, you went right to the heart of the question when you were asking about, do we have a right to ask about these questions? And your guest is right on everything he says. The basis is us and them. It's that those concepts are as old as life itself. And it has to do with self-preservation of both yourself and the group. And you were just asking about what happens when the white power structure is affected. I was wondering, when the whites are a minority, would they receive any benefits based on that?
I don't think whites will ever receive benefits based on minority status. That'll be long gone by then. I think that kind of thinking is typically liberal, and only whites, in any kind of by and large societal sense, are likely to be liberal in that sense. I think, though, that as the number of whites diminish, just as every other racial group in this country is open about expressing its explicit racial demands, whites will increasingly realize that they have legitimate group demands, and they will begin to express them too.
Where? Which demands on a boya when you have some pirate? In a year, Bob Marley will come from some phone line tell you say, old pirate come to Rabbi. Soul I people and merchants ship. Minutes after they took I from the bottomless pit, but my hands are made strong. Yeah, man. By the hand of the Almighty. Yeah, man. And them say we are forward in this generation triumphantly. You know, listen Bob Marley. I beer Bob Marley with a beating and about to watch nothing, you know. Through them commercialize the thing. We know say I'm Martin my planner. A whole heap of elder culture Bob Marley make him talk or him talk and sing or him sing. You get me? Yeah, man. If Bob Marley did grow up around Europe, one wouldn't know nothing about him. Nothing at all about Bob Marley. He would have been one of them regular guy there. Probably I sing rock and roll music. But the man said, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. What do you think that mean? None but ourselves. We, I can free I mind. I can free your mind. Muta, Baruka. And you have to free your mind. It's an individual thing, Muta. It's not a group thing where everybody comes to them a Rasta. And then go 5 Rasta of international documents where them can go anywhere in the earth. And everywhere them go, them get chauffeur driven and big place to live and thing. 5 Rasta. While 1.5 million other Rasta a plant and a play in the dirt. And don't even have a travel document for move from any little parish to the next parish. Because them step from them farm, Babylon hold them and say, where you go, boy? You know what I mean? Where ganja there? You understand? It's only when the Rasta become commercialized, the commercial people them start get Rasta a little respect. And them only give the commercial Rasta that commercial respect. And every Rasta them respect. So when commercial people, I said them apologize to commercial Rasta, them think they don't impress me. Because if you're a slave and your slave master say, I'm sorry for rough you up, but me still enslave you and keep you as a slave, then what is that? What is it? That's still slavery. Them just a fancy it up and go on some little epaulette. You get me? And some little badge. And give them a little stripe. And then quiet and sit still like some good slave. Lightning, earthquake, and thunder. For Uno, we are sell out on a very own black brother.
All of this will lead to further conflict of, I think, a very disagreeable proportion, but it's one that will be promoted. The more different races, different cultures, different nationalities end up in the United States.
End up in the United States. And the United States is that corporation. It's not America. It's not even the United States of America. You understand? And all I know come here and then create problem for the original people here. And my mainland I want to debate all kind of different things. All a man like if some of my mainlander can see me about that, you know, so them a try, attack me. You understand? I would have to just decimate them openly. You get me? Because that's all I would do. Totally decimate, when I come about and attack. I want to attack Gog and Magog. You get me? We're permeate on a place and pushing around like, you know what I mean? Them subjects. I better understand up and say under the Commonwealth than not talk about under the United States. Yeah, man. Not that much. Just write on a piece of paper. I'm a non-citizen of a corporation and a national of this land. That's all you have to write on a piece of paper. Yeah, man. And you autograph it and put a fingerprint on it and get it notarized if you choose. If you do not have a seal to notarize your own document. You know, you hear me talk about seal. I think that man can't touch me with my seal. This is why them that try to stop me. I'm not going to say them not going to still continue to try to stop me. But them not can't do it lawfully anymore. Why? Because there's a thing called double jeopardy. Picture a state government that try to hold on upon a man like me. If you try to charge me or put me through them legal process for something what them did before and fail. You get me? I don't think they are double jeopardy, man. That's why I'm so confident in my speech. That's why I'm so confident in my stand. I say I a walk Indian. Which boy have any claim? Which boy have any claim on that name? Oh, what crown in the earth? Gog or Magog? Which one? None. Yeah, man. This is how unique we are around here. This is how set apart we are around here. Yeah. Who else I talk this way? Oh. This is the problem with our people. You get me? We don't want this kind of truth because it affects on our bottom line. It affects on our commerce. It affects on our business. So I can't talk like how I talk. We don't have a challenge on our handlers. We don't have a challenge on our slave masters. We don't have a challenge on our oppressors. But tell enough to come attack the Nestorian king now. Yeah, man. Wanna come in like fly from all angles. Yet the Nestorian king does, decimate with words. Totally decimate with just words. I saw truth go on. Truth undress Truth strip naked. And truth will embarrass But truth is no sin. Lightning. Gerard Taylor, better give me a strike for that one. Them no ram for shot me up in them. Yeah, man, but me have some Teflon and some Kevlar around me. But when them a bust them big shot and thing, me still up on YouTube a swing. How you mean?
Things.
How do you define the word racism when you use it?
Racism? Well, I don't use it very often, but racism in the United States today is generally an accusation that you make when you want to shut somebody up. It's a swear word, basically. And basically, it can have legitimate content, but mainly people use it when they have run out of arguments, and it's the most graceless way of admitting that you've lost the argument.
Is it good that it's lost its meaning?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, let's talk to Annabelle. I'm being told I can't talk to you, Annabelle. The call next week, we'll get back with you. Well, go ahead. Finish up on that.
Race. I suppose if racism has a really legitimate meaning, it would be someone who hates people of other races or dislikes them, wishes to dominate. In that sense, I don't think there are very many racists in this country. But you can be opposed to affirmative.
Listen to this, man. Somebody who don't like the next people from another race, somebody who want to totally dominate a people from another race, then isn't that what you people are doing, people? Listen, them I tell you plain and straight, but my people will miss it easily because they are too educated. They'll miss it. You get me? And the ones that may catch it, I say, watch you, I mean, you know, touch it.
Action. You can be a white person who is opposed to racial discrimination against whites in the form of affirmative action and be accused of racism.
How would a sustained drop in immigration for a while help the country cope with these problems, or would it impair our ability to?
I think it would help immeasurably. I think that people often talk about a breathing spell. Look, I'm talking about as if race is this terrible dividing line. It doesn't always have to be. There are going to be some Asians, some Hispanics, some blacks who really do assimilate in some fashion to European civilization.
Mm-hmm.
Why should we assimilate into European civilization, sodomite? Why? And if you're Asian, go around your Asian location. And if you're African, stay around your African location. And if you're Chinaman, go around your place. And you Gaga Magog, go back in a phone hole, man, make we seal that mess again and make us stay in a phone place. So we can have some peace on this earth. Because from when you come out of a phone like a cave, up in the Caucasus Mountain, brethren, a big problem I go on the earth. When I look and I can see, I say, Uno as the culprit, as the perpetrator, whole heap wrong. You guys are the very same Khazars. I want to stop change up on us, it's like some, what I call it, shifters. I know the fallen ones and teaching a whole bunch of things. You don't look like me, brethren. I tell you that, me, I look for you, you don't look like me. You understand? I know some boy your interest now gonna be, to my benefit. Because you come from a foreign land and come in this place when name America, America, Amaruka, our place, and come dominate it. Now you want to take it as yours. Same thing you do around Europe. Same thing you do around Africa. You get me? Certain places of Africa, people think they are black people there, but when you go there, you go and get a shock on the life. You understand? Multiculture, it originates around there. We're always there by ourselves, one away. South African, a same way them did stay. Australian, a same way them did stay. We have a next group where them just naturally mix up. Whole heap of mixing. And then bring it around here. So now them a tell us, watch ya, we need to wipe out them dark-skinned people and them other color people. Because we want pale for rule and stay in rule. Why? Why? That's why you're a racist, man, because you want to dominate my race. You get me? You want to control and govern my race. You understand? Yet you say, boy, you're not racist. You get me? But me know who you are. You are the serpent seed. You derived from the ancestors of the deceiver. So even now, you are deceivers. You can't fool me. I'm gonna call you out. Gog and Magog. I wanna work with the Ishmaelites and the Esau line. You get me? To oppress a specific group of people, which is the majority. You guys can never be the majority here. Period. Impossible. Same thing on do with the island, when I create on a gentrification. This is why when you go downtown, a Chinese people own the whole of downtown. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, that building, I hear say a Chinese own it. Here, Jamaica building, all of them building the downtown. Chinese. Look more from this, down there, them are going to name Chinatown. You get me? And push back all the market and carry it back in a Spanish town somewhere. You get me? Because I think them are develop Spanish town like how them are develop Kingston. You understand? Yeah, man, the people them around a Sligoville and them place there, them are going to have it rough. Them have to just go on farm. That's why I say, yo, hold up on the violence, man, so I can see what really are going on. Downtown, I got renamed Chinatown. You probably have all of Hong Kong downtown after a while. You get me? Yeah, man, you have on this island, foreign nation are going to be represented in every location on this island if we are not careful, if we are not mindful of these foreign invasions. When it's not this kind of Khazar Jew, it's the Chinese Jew. Don't be fooled. Yeah, man, them blood permeate all about the place. A bloodline thing, consanguinity thing. That's what it is really about. And some of them will look like we. Them not really have our blood per se. Them just have a semblance of us. And that is from the miscegenation, from the rape of these foreign people invading our land. Yeah, man. So, my view different, man. And this is how I make my stand, Call them out, man. Shine light upon them, man. Mainland are kind of afraid, so, we'll show them up for the mainlanders,
But the more of people who are coming in from Mexico or from Haiti or Guatemala, wherever it is, the more they are likely to create a reestablishment of their own mores, their own culture, their own way of doing things. And
So
all
the
of
breathing
that,
space gives you a chance to digest and Americanize.
if that is in fact possible. And I'm not sure it even is, even if we stopped immigration right now.
Jared Taylor, we could do this for a while longer, I'm sure. That's thanks to our guest, Jared Taylor, author of the book Paved with Good Intentions. And earlier he was joined by retired Senator Eugene McCarthy. Next week, we're going to be talking to Chilton Williamson. He's written an interesting book.
Give thanks. Give thanks and praise. Give thanks and praise. Well, there you have it, my people. With us catalog another segment of information and show us watch out. When we are talking about history and I look upon history and hear them talk about them Renaissance and all of these things, where I start around France. You understand? When I'm come with liberty and all these things, everything have, a duality to it. Because when them come with them 1965 act, voting act, what them do, on one hand people say, yeah, we have right for vote. But on the other hand, behind the scenes, what them there is more solidify their construct, their voting blocks. But through our people, and neophyte to these foreign people's construct, we miss so much things. It's after a lot of things has been done, that's when we have figured it out. You know what I mean? Like the things of the 50s and 60s, we just get it now in 2022. Because a whole heap of things them keep secret and say, hey, national security. And this is how them oppress with. This is how them enslave with. We now ask no question. We now say, why you think you can come from a foreign land and impose your authority on us as a people? We now ask these questions. We just follow authority. You know what I mean? Not knowing say all authority derived from the Almighty. Not come from the man. Not come from the politician. Yeah, man. So, yes, so we make a stand. Again, gratitude. Gratitude. We are a mustard seed. Yeah, man. We are mustard seed. And we bring our information according to our little, that's a common perspective. I mean, our plain perspective, our simple perspective. Yeah, man. So, again, gratitude. Can't find the music. I'm going to see if I can find something I can beat. Everybody, man. Everybody, I bring them information. Everybody, I play them part. And this is the beauty, Yeah, man. This is the beauty. It's just that we have a lot of people who really sold us out. Some people were really, intentionally hold our people back. It's a sad state of fear, my people. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, man. When we have a lot of celebrities, a lot of famous people, a lot of scholars. Yeah, man. Our people we are talking about. Black people, so-called. Yet, this is the state where we're in. You understand? Everybody has said, boy, them want all kind of foreign things. And them, that pursuit, them give away everything what we have. All of our possession, including our birthright, including our inheritance. The so-called representative were supposed to represent the plain people. Give that away, they gift it away to foreigners. This is why them can't get me support. You understand? This is why them can't get me support. And this is why I encourage my people to remain lawful, man. leave them criminality, because that is a commercial activity. Just remain on the lawful side of the issue and challenge them that way, and stand that way and protect yourself on that side of the issue. Yeah, man. You have a right to exist. Gog and Magog have absolutely no authority or any right to dictate terms and conditions to you when you choose to be free. Don't let them use their instrumentality to continue to oppress and suppress we. Salute, people.